On the one hand, the rich look askance at our continuing poverty. On the other, they warn us against their own methods. My father was a statesman. I am a political woman. My father was a saint. I am not. People tend to forget their duties, but remember their rights. You can't shake hands with a clenched fist. My grandfather once told me that there were two kinds of people, those who do the work and those who take the credit. He told me to try to be in the first group. There was much less competition. Winning or losing of the election is less important than strengthening the country. I have lived a long life, and I am proud that I spend the whole of my life in the service of my people. I am only proud of this and nothing else. I shall continue to serve until my last breath, and when I die, I can say that every drop of my blood will invigorate India and strengthen it. We have to prove to the disinherited majority of the world that ecology and conservation will not work against their interest, but will bring an improvement in their lives. I think basically I'm lazy, but I have a housewife's mentality when I go about my job. Even if I died in the service of the nation, I would be proud of it. Every drop of my blood will contribute to the growth of this nation and to make it strong and dynamic. I have already reached out to the Janata, and I am only trying to acquaint myself with people's problems. There exists no politician in India daring enough to attempt to explain to the masses that cows can be eaten. Have a bias toward action. Let's see something happen now. You can break that big plan into small steps and take the first step right away. There is not love where there is no will. I am not a person to be pressured by anybody or any nation. I'm certainly not a workaholic. Ability is not always gauged by examination. We do not wish to impoverish the environment any further, and yet we cannot for a moment forget the grim poverty of large numbers of people are not poverty and need the greatest polluters. The environmental problems of developing countries are not the side effects of excessive industrialization, but reflect the inadequacy of development. The power to question is the basis of all human progress. This is why we feel that democracy is important, because democracy allows you to have small explosions and therefore avoid the bigger explosions. All the people who fought for freedom were my heroes. I mean, that was the sort of story I liked reading, freedom struggles and so on. I've never turned to anybody for advice and counsel. Even when I was a very small child, I had to stand on my feet because of the circumstances of those times, and somehow, the circumstances have remained more or less the same. I have to take my own decisions. The people have nothing to fear of me. People have never feared me. Martyrdom does not end something, it only a beginning. Wearing khadi was a badge of honor. It was something one was proud to do. If I see something dirty or untidy, I have to clean it up. One must beware of ministers who can do nothing without money, and those who want to do everything with money. I don't think my father was my mentor. If I die a violent death, as some fear and a few are plotting, I know that the violence will be in the thought and the action of the assassins, not in my dying. There are grave misgivings that the discussion on ecology may be designed to distract attention from the problems of war and poverty. Happiness is a state of mind, you know. I don't think you are permanently happy. One is happy about certain things and not so happy about others. I was happy to be with my parents. I didn't see very much of them, so I was very happy when my father was there and out of jail. All my games were political games. I was, like Joan of Arc, perpetually being burned at the stake. Difficulties can't be eliminated from life. Individuals will always have them, countries will always have them. The only thing is to accept them, if possible overcome them, otherwise to come to terms with them. It's all right to fight, yes, but only when it's possible. My son had nothing to do with policy or decision-making, nor did I discuss the elections or any other matter with him. I am frequently attacked. Forgiveness is a virtue of the brave. We always said that our struggle was not only against the British as representatives of colonialism, it was against all the evil that existed in India. The evil of the feudal system, the evil of the system based on caste, the evil of economic injustice. Opportunities are not offered. They must be wrested and worked for. And this calls for perseverance and courage. To be liberated, woman must feel free to be herself, not in rivalry to man, but in the context of her own capacity and her personality. Until the day she died, my mother continued to fight for the rights of women. She joined all the women's movements of the time. She stirred up a lot of revolts. She was a great woman, a great figure. Women today would like her immensely. You soon realize that the peak you've climbed was one of the lowest, that the mountain was part of a chain of mountains, that there are still so many mountains to climb, and the more you climb, the more you want to climb even though you're dead tired. I cannot understand how anyone can be an Indian and not be proud. The greatest of all contraceptives is affluence. I learned very soon to get along by myself. Whenever you take a step forward, you are bound to disturb something. The meek may one day inherit the earth. but not the headlines. Popularity is not a guarantee of quality. Education is a liberating force, and in our age it is also a democratizing force, cutting across the barriers of caste and class, smoothing out inequalities imposed by birth and other circumstances. A nation's strength ultimately consists in what it can do on its own, and not in what it can borrow from others. I don't mind if my life goes in the service of the nation. If I die, every drop of my blood will invigorate the nation. Every new experience brings its own maturity and a greater clarity of vision. I do not like carving the world into segments. We are one world. The purpose of life is to believe, to hope, and to strive. Women sometimes go too far, it's true. But it's only when you go too far that others listen. To become capable, one must have faith in oneself. The collective judgment of the electorate must be respected.